Manchester United used to be the big dogs in the Premier League, but as of today, it is not the same case. The fans have been waiting for the Premier League title, but every year they are left with disappointment. With the arrival of Erik ten Hag in 2022, the club finished third in the Premier League and even managed to reach the FA Cup final. Definitely there was some hope, but his magic has started to fade away as last season they finished 8th in the table. Talking about this season, they have lost 3-0 against Liverpool and even losing against Brighton Hove Albion 2-1. So that's why today I will be taking over Manchester United and make them the best club in England. Talking about the transfer budget, the club has given us a massive 158 million to spend in the first season, but we are only going to make one signing because the club has already spent more than 200 million this year. Their biggest signing is Leny Yoro. They have bought him from Lille for a fee of massive 62 million, and their second signing is Manuel Ugarte from PSG for a fee of 50 million, and to me it's a decent signing. I'm going to use him a lot in this rebuild. After that we have delayed from Bayern Munich for a fee of 45 million, another great signing. With the departure of Rafael Varane, the club needed a strong defender. After that, Zerski from Bologna for a fee of 42.5 million, but with his installment we have to figure it out which striker we have to use, Rasmus Højlund or Zerski. And the last one is Noussair Mazraoui from Bayern Munich for a fee of 15 million, but I'm not sure if we are going to use him or not because I think I'm going to stick with Diogo Dalot on the right back position. So talking about the team, currently they are using 4-2-3-1 wide formation, but I think narrow will work better because as you can see with the narrow formation, Rashford and Ahmad will be on their natural position. So with that done, on the striking position I would like to go with Rasmus Højlund instead of Zerski. Behind him we have Bruno Fernandes, the club captain, who is 87. On the left mid we have Marcus Rashford, who is 81, and on the right mid position we have Amad Diallo, who is 75. But with this, Garnacho will be on the substitute bench. I really wanted to have him in the first 11. Well, we cannot replace Rashford, but maybe I think we can replace Amad because Garnacho got 4-star weak foot, although he's a right-footed player. But with this, I think it will work for sure. On the defensive midfield position, we have Kobe Mainoo, and he will be joined by Casemiro. And I think his time at the Old Trafford has come to an end because he's not playing well this season. Although we do have Manuel Ugarte who can replace him, but I still think that this team needs a strong defensive midfielder. And for that, we have two options. The first one is Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. Well, he's been heavily linked with joining the club for like 2 or maybe 3 years. His market value is 98.5 million, but the problem is he's publicly stated that he don't want to leave Barcelona. While the second player is Joshua Kimmich, who is a wanted player in Barcelona, their top target, but we all know that they don't have the money to sign him, although his market value is 64.5 million. Looking at his stats, he's got 87 passing, 83 dribbling and 81 defending as well, whereas he's got 6 play styles and one of them is a play style plus, that is long ball pass. His market value is 64.5 million, but his contract is set to expire in 12 months, so maybe we can have this deal in 60 million. So straight away I'm going to start the offer with 60 million, but they have countered it with Leny Yoro plus 38.1 million, which is definitely not going to happen. So I'm going to offer 65 million. Let's see how they respond. They want 66.9 million, and you know what, I'm just going to accept this offer for Joshua Kimmich. So with Joshua Kimmich finally here at Manchester United, our midfield problem have been solved. And with that, let's talk about the defense. On the left back position, Luke Shaw will be back in the team, while on the centre back we have Lisandro Martinez joined by Delete, and on the right back Diogo Dalot will be starting instead of Mazraoui, who's going to play a supportive role, while goalkeeper is going to be Andre Onana. And now talking about the tactical vision, I'm going to use build-up play as short passing, while defensive approach is going to be aggressive. So with the transfer window has come to an end, let's take a look at the players that we have sold this season. Well, we have sold Casemiro to Aston Villa for a fee of 44.7 million, while Anthony will be joining Newcastle United for nearly 27 million, while Mason Mount will be back with his former club Chelsea for a fee of 29 million, while Malacia will be joining Lazio for a fee of 14 million, whereas Johnny Evans joining League One Rennes for a fee of 890k. And with that, let's see how this team performed in its very first season. So after completing our first season, we finished 7th in the table. That means no Champions League football next season, and above us we have Liverpool, who have equal points but above us due to 1 goal difference. Whereas this season Arsenal have managed to win the Premier League by 1 point, defeating Tottenham Hotspur. Let's see how we have done in the Community Shield, we have lost it to Manchester City 2-0. In the FA Cup, definitely we are not in the finals as City have won it this season, as in the round of 3 Norwich defeated us 3-1 on penalties. Talking about the Carabao Cup, again we are not in the finals as City has defeated Liverpool 3-1, as in the quarter-finals Burnley knocked us out 3-2. Talking about the Europa League, we have finished 6th in the league, but as of now I don't know how this works, but still somehow we have managed to reach the round of 16, but Hoffenheim defeated us 3-0 on penalties. And definitely we have to work on our penalties because this is the second time we have been knocked out by penalties. And with that, let's discuss the stats of the player after completing first season. The top scorer for this season is Amad Diallo, who has scored 25 goals while providing 2 assists in 48 games. And if we go down, we have Zerski, who has only managed to play 7 games, out of which he has scored 4 goals and 1 assist, while Rasmus Højlund has played 51 games, out of which he has scored 19 times and assisted 1 time. Whereas this season, Bruno Fernandes has scored 21 goals while providing 5 assists in 51 games. But surprisingly, this season, the top assister is Christian Eriksen. He has provided 17 assists and scored 8 goals in 39 games, while Garnacho this season has played 16 games in which he has provided only 3 assists and 0 goals, which is definitely not good at all. Well, another flop this season, Marcus Rashford has scored only 5 goals and provided 2 assists in a massive 38 games. Well, in case of Garnacho, I understand because Diallo has dominated the right midfield position, but Rashford was given a proper chance. As you can see, 38 games is no less, and in which he has scored only 5 goals and 2 assists. So maybe next season we will see if we want to keep him or sell him out. If we go up, we have Kobe Mainoo, who has scored 5 goals, 6 assists in 48 games, which is in fact better than Rashford. Whereas our new signing Joshua Kimmich has scored 9 goals and provided 7 assists in 51 games, and keep in mind that he is a CDM. So season 2 is here. As you can see, Rasmus Højlund was great last season as he has scored 19 goals, as his overall has increased up to 81, while Fernandes was great as well. But in case of Rashford, I'm not really sure, because last season, as I remember, he has only managed to contribute to like 7 or 8 goals in 38 games. So now what I'm thinking is, why not give this opportunity to Garnacho, while on the right mid Amad Diallo is definitely going to play. That means this season we will try to offload Rashford from Manchester United. And right after that, we have received our first offer for Marcus Rashford. It is Arsenal who are willing to offer 42.1 million. Well, this offer we have to reject because we cannot sold Rashford to Arsenal. But the second offer that we have received is interesting because it is from Borussia Dortmund. They are willing to offer 39.1 million for him. So let's try to negotiate and bring at least 50 million. So straight away I'm going to start with 52 million. Let's see how they are going to respond, and here you go, they are sticking with 39.1 million. So I think this is going to be my final offer, 45 million plus 5% sell-on clause. Let's see how they respond, and here you go, the deal is done. But with his departure, we have to find a supportive winger for this team because as of now we don't have any. And for that, I think Gittins is the perfect player. As you can see, he's currently playing at Everton. He's only 20 years of age. His overall is 78. He's got 4-star skill moves and 4-star weak foot, got 91 pace while 84 dribbling, and surely we have to work on his shooting and passing, which is pretty low, 69 and 65 only. Well, he comes up with 3 strong play style, rapid flair and quick step. And if we see his physical stats, he's got 92 acceleration, agility is 92 while balance is 84. And definitely this guy has a lot of potential, and his market value is around 33.5 million. So let's try to negotiate with Everton for Gittins, but unfortunately he's not for sale as the team don't have enough depth in this position. But we have another player who have similar stats and even cheaper than Gittins. Well, it is none other than Somerville, who's currently playing at West Ham United. He also got 91 pace. Well, his dribbling is only 79, but still a lot to improve because this guy is only 23 years of age and got a lot of potential. Well, he's got 3-star weak foot and 3-star skill moves, and as you can see, he comes up with 5 strong play styles. Well, his market value is around 24 million, which is like 11 to 12 million cheaper than Gittins. So let's try to negotiate with West Ham United. So I'm going to start the offer with 27 million. Let's see how they respond. They have countered it with 35.5 million, which is definitely a bit high. So I'm going to offer 32 million, and they have countered once again with 33.6 million. And now this is going to be my final offer, that is 33 million. So let's see how they respond. They want 33.1 million. They're even fighting for 100k, and you know what, I'm going to accept this offer for Somerville. Well, right after the installment of Somerville Somerville, we have received an offer for Jadon Sancho, who has returned from his loan spell from Chelsea, and it is Newcastle United who are willing to offer 61.4 million for him. Although I would love to have him in this team, but he is not ready to negotiate any deal, so we have to sell him. So straight away I'm going to put 72 million because it is Newcastle United we are talking about, and they want 62.7 million. So let's counter it with 68 million. Let's see how they respond. But they are sticking around nearly 63 million, and I think the tension bar is rising, so we have to accept this. And without wasting any time, Jadon Sancho has signed all the contracts and left for Newcastle United. And if we talk about our defense on the fullback position, I'm going to stick with Luke Shaw and Diego Dalot, who has increased up to 84. While on the centre back position, we are going to use Delete and Martinez, and they will be supported by Harry Maguire. And I think our team is ready to compete for the titles this season, so let's see how this team performs in the second season. So after completing the second season, we have finished third in the table. That means Champions League football confirmed next season. And if we go up, it is Liverpool who have won the Premier League title this season by defeating Manchester City by 1 point and just 4 points above us. And by looking at that, I think our team is now ready to win the Premier League title in the next 1 or maybe 2 seasons. If we talk about the FA Cup, we are not in the finals, as on the round of 5 it was Brentford who knocked us out 2-1. Talking about the Carabao Cup, again we are not in the finals as Liverpool have won it, as in the round of 3 it was Wolverhampton who knocked us out 1-0. Talking about the Conference League, we have finished 14th in the league, and I'm not sure in the playoff. Yes, we are here. We have defeated this team 3-1 and are in the round of 16, where we defeated Olympiacos 5-1 on aggregate, and in the quarter-finals we faced Bologna and defeated them 5-3 on aggregate. In the semi-finals we faced Besiktas and defeated them 5-2 on aggregate. That means we are going to face Olympic Lyonnais in the finals of the Conference League, and if somehow we manage to win it, then we will become the first manager after Jose Mourinho to win a European trophy for the club. So the starting 11 is in front of you, and let's see if we can win this or not. And in the end we have managed to defeat Olympic Lyonnais 3-0 in the finals, where Garnacho was on the score sheet, so do Rasmus Højlund and Mazraoui. And with this we have managed to lift our first trophy with Manchester United. Well, after this win, the social media was all praise for Garnacho, as he has managed to win the player of the match in the finals, whereas Kimmich posing with the Conference League trophy, and the fans were delighted with it. And now let's take a look at the stats of the players in this season. Well, this season the top scorer and the top assister is Bruno Fernandes. He has provided 17 assists while scoring 33 goals in 55 games. Well, that is exactly 50 goal contribution in 55 games, and he is definitely been so far the best in the Premier League. But somehow it was Erling Haaland who has managed to win the Premier League player of the season. And now if we go down, we have Ahmad. This season he has scored 23 goals and provided 7 assists in 55 games, which is definitely not bad. Whereas Zersky once again has managed to play only 8 games, just 1 game plus than previous season. He has scored 2 goals and 2 assists. And if we go down, we have Rasmus Højlund, 18 goals while providing 1 assist, and definitely this season he has proved that he needs to be in the first 11. Whereas Christian Eriksen has managed to provide 10 assists and scored 1 goal in 27 games, but he will be retiring at the end of the season, and surely we are going to miss those assists and goals. If we talk about Garnacho, he has scored 8 goals, 6 assists in 39 games, which is pretty decent as compared to the previous season. Whereas the new signing Somerville was also on the pitch in 11 games, scored 1 goal, 0 assists. If we move up, we have Kobe Mainoo, who has scored 9 goals, 7 assists in 56 games. Whereas if we go up, Ugarte 3 goals, 2 assists in 50 games, Dalot 4 goals, 4 assists, and Kimmich this season has scored 8 goals and provided 9 assists. But moving back to the Premier League player of the season, if you see, Bruno Fernandes has scored 1 goal extra than Erling Haaland in 1 game less, and the same go for assists. As you can see, he has scored 11 goals compared to Erling Haaland 9, so definitely Bruno Fernandes have been robbed this season. So this is the team for season 3. As you can see, Rasmus Højlund has increased up to 85 and he will be supported by Zersky. And the first thing that comes to my mind is that do we need this guy, because in the first season he played like 7 games and in the second season he played only 8 games, and I'm not really sure whether to sell him or not. Well, in this I want your opinion in the comment section below. Well, behind him we have Bruno Fernandes. This guy is literally at the peak of his career. While on the left mid we have Garnacho, who is increased up to 82 and Ahmad is now 81. But there is one guy we are going to miss a lot, that is Christian Eriksen. The guy retired from football, but in the first season he was the top assister with 17 assists, and in the last season he provided like 10 assists, so surely we are going to miss those numbers. And right now, while looking at the team, I don't think we have a proper replacement for him who can contribute to such level. And for his replacement we have two options. The first one is Mikkel Stamsgaard, who's a center mid but can play on the left wing as well. His current overall is 77 at the age of 26. He's currently playing at Brentford. He's got 81 pace, 75 passing, 82 dribbling. He has 4-star skill moves and 3-star weak foot. He's got 3 playing style, ping, pass, technical flair, and his market value is right now 14 million. While the second player is the brother of Jude Bellingham. It is Jude Bellingham, who's currently playing at Sevilla. At the age of 20, his overall is 75. Well, he's got 3-star skill moves and 3-star weak foot. His passing and dribbling are decent, but we have to work on his pace and shooting. Well, he's just 20 years of age, so he's got a lot of potential and can improve and upgrade quite quickly. He comes up with 4 strong playstyle, and as of now his market value is 13.5 million, so maybe we can turn this deal under 20 million. And out of these two, I think we have to go for Jude Bellingham because of the age factor, as Mikkel Stamsgaard is 26 while Bellingham is only 20. So I'm going to start the offer with 18 million. Let's see how they respond, and here you go, the deal is done. And now I think maybe we should start with 15 million. So I have offered him a rotation role, 4 years of contract length, no release clause, and 35k will be his wage per week. So let's see if he's going to accept it or not. But he wants 48.5k per week plus a signing bonus worth of 420k. But now I have reduced the signing bonus to 350k because that will be a lot for him. So let's see if we can sign him or not, and here you go, he has signed the contract. So with Bellingham finally here, he will be having a lot of responsibility because he's considered as the replacement of Christian Eriksen. Talking about the defensive midfield, here we have Kimmich, who has increased up to 89 while Kobe Mano is now 84, and they will be supported by Manuel Ugarte, who is now 85. Whereas in the defense on the fullback position we have Luke Shaw, and he will be joined by Diego Dalot. On the centre back position we have Lisandro Martinez, who is now 85, joined by Delete, who is now 86, and they will be supported by Joro, who is now 80 overall. But here we have another problem to deal with. As you can see, Harry Maguire, the GOAT himself, will be retiring at the end of the season. Well, definitely he's not the starter for the team, but he played the supportive role brilliantly. Whereas 34 is not the age of retirement as well. And moving forward, we have received an offer for Victor Lindelof. It is Leeds United. They are willing to offer 11.5 million for him. Well, he is 32 years of age. His overall is 78, but in the future he's going to decline drastically, and maybe next season he won't even worth 7 million. So I think selling him right now is the best option. So I'm going to put 13 million for him. So let's see how Leeds respond, and here you go, the deal is done. With the departure of Victor Lindelof, we have to sign a new centre back for the team, and for that we have signed Martin Wittig from Leicester City for a fee of 24 million. And with the installment of Wittig, I think this team is ready to win the Premier League this season. So after completing the season, we have again failed to win the Premier League. As you can see, we have finished third in the table with 77 points, and if we go up, we have Arsenal on the second place, and this season it is Manchester City who have won the Premier League, and with a margin of 9 points. And in order to defeat them and win the Premier League, we have to make some big decisions. Let's see how we have done in the FA Cup. We are not in the finals. Even West Ham United have won it, as in the round of 3 it was Manchester City who knocked us out 3-2. Talking about the Carabao Cup, again we are not in the finals, as Arsenal have won it this season, because in the round of 4 Swindon Town knocked us out 2-1, and with the team that we have, it is still hard to believe. And if we talk about the Champions League, we have finished 7th in the table above City, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and even Bayern Munich. And in the round of 16 we faced Barcelona and defeated them 4-1 on aggregate, and in the quarter-finals it was Atletico Madrid who knocked us out 5-1. And with that, let's talk about the stats of the player in this season. The top scorer for this season is Rasmus Højlund. He has scored 36 goals while providing 5 assists in 53 games. And if we move up, we have Amad Diallo, who has scored 25 goals while providing 11 assists. Whereas this season Bruno Fernandes is the top assister. He has provided 15 assists while scoring 17 goals in 55 games. Garnacho, on the other hand, has managed to score only 2 goals while providing 4 assists in 29 games. And if we talk, Jude Bellingham this season in his debut season has scored 1 goal, 2 assists, which is pretty low in 46 games. Whereas Joshua Kimmich this season has assisted 10 times while scoring 8 goals in 56 games. Well, this season it is Rasmus Højlund Haaland, who has managed to win the Golden Boot by defeating Erling Haaland as he has scored 28 goals in 36 games, while the top assister is once again Bruno Fernandes with 13 assists in 37 games. But this season it was Haaland who has managed to win the player of the season. So season 4 is here and we have a big problem. Well, some of the senior players wants to leave the club this season. Well, the first one is Alejandro Garnacho. He has submitted a transfer request this season and we have to sell him out and find his proper replacement for the team. While the second player is none other than Dalot, who has submitted a transfer request as well. That means we have to sign a left mid plus a right back in this season. For Diego Dalot, we have received an offer from Napoli. They are willing to offer nearly 55 million, which we are going to negotiate. So let's try to put 55 million and see how they are going to respond. They are sticking with 55.2 million. So I'm going to counter it with 58 million. Let's see how they are going to respond. They are still sticking with 55.2 million because they know his contract is set to expire in 12 months. So we have no other choice to accept this offer. And for his replacement, we have signed Achraf Hakimi, who was currently playing for some Bulgarian club. I don't know why, but this deal has cost us around 95.5 million. And for Garnacho, we have received an offer from Tottenham Hotspur. They are willing to offer 38.4 million. Although I don't want to sell him to our direct rival, but his contract is set to expire in this year and he's not ready to negotiate. So we have to struck a deal with Tottenham Hotspur. So I'm going to start the offer by putting 42 million. Let's see how NJ respond, and it is not a deal as Postecoglou thinks that it is quite high for Garnacho. Well, we have received another offer for Garnacho, but this time it is from Liverpool, and this time let's try to put 41 million and see their response. And here you go, they want 38.4 million plus 1% sell-on clause. So this is going to be my final offer, 39 million plus 1% sell-on clause. Let's see how they respond, and here you go, the deal is done. For the replacement of Garnacho, we have signed Ansuman Fati from Barcelona for a fee of 81.2 million. And with his installment, I think the team is looking good. As you can see on the attacking midfield, we have Bruno, who has increased up to 91. Up front, we have Haaland, who has increased up to 88. And on the right mid, we have Amad Diallo, who has increased up to 87. On the defensive midfield position, we have Kobe Maiano, who has increased up to 87, joined by Joshua Kimmich, who is now 91. And they will be supported by Manuel Ugarte, who is 86, and Joe Bellingham, who is now 78. Talking about the defense, on the fullback position, we have Achraf Hakimi, who is 86, joined by Luke Shaw, who is now 84. While on the centre back position, Delete is now 87, joined by Lisandro Martinez 86, while Andre Onana is now 87. And this year, surely I think this team is capable enough to win the Premier League and the Champions League. Well, after completing the season, finally we have managed to win the Premier League with Manchester United at last by defeating Manchester City by 10 points. If we talk about the FA Cup, we are not in the finals as City have won this once again. Well, in the round of 4, Hull City knocked us out 5-3 on penalties. Talking about the Carabao Cup, we are not in the finals once again. As you can see, in the quarter-finals, Arsenal won 4-3 on penalties. And now talking about the Champions League, we finished 13th in the league. That means we have to play the playoff, where we faced AS Monaco and defeated them 6-2 on aggregate. While in the round of 16, we faced Real Madrid and defeated them 6-1 on aggregate. While in the quarter-finals, we faced Milano FC, that is AC Milan, and defeated them 6-4 on aggregate. And in the semi-finals, we faced Manchester City and defeated them 3-2 on aggregate and are going to face Napoli in the finals. And if somehow we win this Champions League finals, then this will be a history. As you can see, we have already won the Premier League, and winning the Champions League will secure a double for us. So the starting 11 is in front of you. As you can see, on the left back, Luke Shaw is not available because he has received a red card, while Mazraoui will be playing replacing him. So let's see if he can win this final or not. And here you go, we have won the Champions League by defeating Napoli 2-1, as it was Ansuman Fati and Bruno Fernandes who were on the score sheet. And with that, we have managed to win our third trophy as a Manchester United manager. And with that win, here you go, Kimmich once again posing with the Champions League trophy, while the fans are overwhelmed by this win. And with that, let's take a look at the stats of the player after this season. Well, this season the top scorer is Rasmus Højlund. He has managed to score 40 goals while providing 2 assists in 58 games, whereas Amad Diallo has managed to be the top assister. He has provided 20 assists while scoring 9 goals in 60 games. Whereas if we move up, we have Bruno Fernandes, just 1 assist less than Diallo, 19 assists and scored 32 goals in 59 games. Whereas Ansuman Fati in his debut season has scored 23 goals while providing 10 assists in 57 games. While Manuel Ugarte, who is out injured, has managed to play 50 games games in which he has scored 2 goals and provided 6 assists, while Joshua Kimmich this season has scored 6 goals and provided 5 assists, whereas Andre Onana, being a goalkeeper, has managed to provide 2 assists and kept 17 clean sheets. So that's it for today guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I will see you soon in the next video. Until then, you can watch the videos that are showing on your screen.